Now we're gonna go to solve different kind of equation. Let's review. Do you guys know how to get rid of fractions? So let's review. That says why is this doing this to me? Okay, so let's say if I have 2x minus 5 over 3 minus 7x plus 2 over 5 greater equal to 2. I want you to solve for x. Now your goal is to get rid of fraction. The first step, get rid of fraction. Okay, think about how do you get rid of fraction the first step. That's the first question. And I want you to find the solution in interval notation. Usually you have to find out algebraic solution, and you have to find the graphing, and then finally you write down the interval notation. So I don't know, Leda, watch a video Friday? You missed on Friday? No. There's one thing we go over. So you might need Austin to help you a little bit. Austin, do you think you can guide her a little bit? You know what to do. Make sure you get rid of fraction the first step. Do not want to combine fraction. Practice, learn how to get rid of fractions. All at first step. Let's check out Leah and Sarah. Make sure they're on the right track. Safa, do the same thing for your group. Annika. You got 2 people who really need to depend on you. Annika, are you in Ben? Okay, I was driving the parking lot. I saw you like yelling kids to go in left and right. I was like, huh? Okay, I need you to be commander of those 2. So obviously you have leadership skills, so now you need to bring them up. I didn't know you're a band kid. Wait, you are the one that left the instrument in my room, right? Oh, okay. Wait, what you guys got? This one. Why you? This one's correct. Now this is the bracket. Okay, it's negative infinity to 61 over 11 negative bracket. It's a bracket, right? It's a bracket. The number is bracket. Again, if you don't know it, I know a lot of you guys have every tendency to combine fraction. You don't need to combine fraction. You just need to get rid of fraction. And I'm going to tell you, this is a very important technique. On SAT, they love this kind of ideas to give you 3 fractions. And then they say, hey, can you simplify it? The best thing is people combine fraction. No, but you don't. You're going to multiply everything by 15. And this 15 is very easy. 15 and 3 cancel out. Left with what? 5. And the 15 and 5 will cancel out, left with the what? 3. And then there's a parenthesis here, and there's a parenthesis here. Don't forget about parenthesis, and don't forget about multiply the last term. Most of people forget to multiply the last term. This 30. And this is going to be 2x minus 5. And there's a 7x plus 2. And that's minus. Does that make sense? And that's equal to 10x minus 25 minus 21x minus 6. Most people make mistake right here. They forgot to distribute because they forgot to put a parenthesis. Greater than 30. Am I doing okay? That's going to be negative 11x minus 31 is greater than 30. And then plus 31. So that's negative 11x greater than 61. And the x is less than 61 over negative 11 because this part would divide it by negative. Change the inequality sign. Does that make sense? And then you have to graph it. So once you graph it, that's going to give you a 61 over negative 11, negative 30 or infinity. This is a circle. Go in this. Then fill in the circle because greater less equal to. And that including negative infinity to 61 over 11 bracket negative. And that's how you get this one. You had to give me 3 different solutions. You had to figure out how those 3 solutions show up. Do you understand? Very easy. So that's linear equation, linear inequality. Let's talk about absolute value. So I'll let Emerson finish.
You have to multiply the entire thing. So even the fifth. So that turns into 30. And you understand how I understand. set up. And then we also look for the 2 if you don't want to do 2. He said that's where a lot of people will say so.
Liam, you understand? Yeah, don't combine.
Yeah, I looked at my notes and I got. Yeah, so that's
You didn't really mess up, but it's a much longer way to do it.
yeah.
All right, so next question. We have to deal with a linear equation. This is algebra 1. We're going to have to go in to deal with the absolute value equation. Absolute value equation, most of you guys don't know how to do it, but I'm going to show you start from the beginning. So let's just say if I have absolute value x is equal to 7, what's x equal to?
7.
Because you can think about it, which number you can plug in. If you have absolute value 7, that's equal to 7. Absolute value -7 is also equal to 7. So anytime you have two lines like this, usually represent those two paths of solutions. So this is the x equal to the positive version of the solution, and this is the negative solution. But they not always have the same number. They just equal to that. So now let's go into the other one. Let's say x minus 2 is equal to 10, something like this. Now, you're not going to get x equal to 12, x equal to -12, because that's wrong. Because the way you want to do it is going to keep exactly the same without absolute value. And keep exactly the same is equal to -10. Now, some people thought here is, some people kind of thought this is going to make this positive. They do not make it this positive whatsoever. That's what most people make mistake. The absolute value does not make the inside the sign positive. They do not. It makes the other side change it plus and minus. Okay, so now you go ahead and solve it. See, this one is keep exactly the same. And this one just exactly the same, but equal to -10. Now, what happened is you're going to have x is equal to 12 and x equal to what? -8, not -12. That's what people always do. That's x equal to 12 and x equal to -8. Pretty easy, right? Absolute value. Now, if this on SAT, you probably sometimes it's better to plug in the value rather than actually solving for it, but I'm going to require kids to solve for it. So let's just say if I have 2x minus 3 is -1 is equal to 9, and I say solving for x. Now the idea is this: always isolate the group function. What is a group function? It's a parenthesis, the absolute value. You want to isolate them. How do you isolate them? Add 1 on both sides. Good job. Because your goal is to get this by itself. Get this by itself first. So you're going to add 1 on each side. So that's going to be 2x minus 3 is equal to 10. What do I do next? Divided by 2. Fairly easy. So that's going to be absolute value 2x minus 3 is equal to 5. Once you did that after, you can choose two paths. Now remember, 2x minus 3 stay as -3. They do not change the sign. They change the sign on the other side. Is that okay? And then 2x is equal to 8. And then 2x is equal to -2, I believe. Is that right? X is equal to 4 and x equal to -1. So those are the two answers. So remember that two line on absolute value.
Get rid of it.
Are we okay? Three. Okay, I want you to solve for this. Now we're gonna start with the equation. Equation is equal sign, and I always end up with the inequality equations. Okay. First, isolate the group function. The group function is absolute value, so be 3, 5x minus 2 is equal to 15. Did you guys get that? Okay, so that's gonna be 5. And then I'm gonna divide by 3 on both sides because I can divide by 3 like this. And that's not subtract 3, so 5x minus 3, absolute value is equal to 5. Oop, 2, this is 2, right? Okay, so now that's going to be 5x minus 2 is equal to 5. 5x minus 2 is equal to negative 5. Only the other side changes sign. 5x is equal to 7. X is equal to 7 over 5. 5x equal to negative 3. X equal to negative 3 over 5. Is that okay? Fairly easy. Now, so if you realize this is called, there's a name for this one. This is called linear inequality equation. So anytime you have equality equation, you're gonna get an answer is in term of interval. That's why we have interval notation. But before that, we call probably first day we talk about this as an equal sign. Then there will be equation, linear equation. You should be able to solve all kind of linear equation, all kind of two-step equation, multiple step equation. That's just algebra 1. But we just went kind of crash course with the one questions that with the fraction and everything. So we kind of get rid of that. You know how to do that. Now there was absolute value equation. So this is actually called absolute value equation. So absolute value equation. Then you gotta say, well, how about absolute value inequality? Okay. So let's just say if I have, I'll just give you a simple one, simple idea. If you just have simple like this, and I have something that say, I don't know, you want to choose a greater or less than? Doesn't matter. Greater than, okay. Greater than, but this have a couple tricky situation though. Let's say greater than 10. Now I'm going to teach you how to find solution of this. This is an interval. So you could have 2x minus 1 greater than 10. It's exactly the same. This side just keep. And the way I kind of told students like I should just say I don't know. That's really bad. I usually says like this is hard. KFC. Okay, I usually don't tell them like this. Like I hate KFC. I'm vegetarian by the way. So the thing about it is I stand for isolation. Isolate the absolute value by itself. Does that make sense? That stands for I. Am I going too fast? I stand for isolation. Now, this split is split two different ways, right? So the first way is going to be keep. And this way is going to be flip and change. It's usually a case of keep, change, flip. But this is a flip the inequality sign and change the sign. Okay, so it's 2x minus 1, flip, and minus 10. I can tell you the reason, but I don't have enough time, so but right now just keep this way, it's easier. So 2x greater than 11, x is greater than 11 over 2. Does that make sense? And this is 2x greater than what? Negative 9, x less than, sorry, it's less than negative 9 over 2. So they are one part of solutions that is greater than this, and this is negative 9 over 2. Now, this one is going to be greater, so it's going to go this way. And this one is going to be less than, it's going to go this way. Now, I write down negative infinity, infinity. I hate people reading the inequality sign. They don't read from left to right, or number line, they don't read it from left to right. So you just see that left to right is going from here to here. So that's going to be negative infinity to negative 9 over 2. And union from 11 over 2 to infinity. And that's it. That's your solution. This is called interval notation. This is graphic notation. And this is algebraic notation. Now, I'm going to say this. Most of absolute value answer can be like, they either like this or like something like this. But never they both like this. They can either join or split, but they never follow. They never follow like this. That's just never a solution. Usually their solution is going to be like this. They join two numbers, or it's two intervals from negative infinity to one number, or one number to infinity. And that's the way it goes. Is that okay? Okay, let's try to change that. Let's put it a little bit different, okay? I'm saying 3 over 2 of 3x minus 1. Minus 1 is equal to 5. I want you to solve for this. So I just change up a little bit. See if you guys can adopt. Be careful. Emerson, slow down. You're thinking too fast. Just take your time. Think about. Sometimes you guys need to slow down and think about what is right. Slow and steady win the race. Did you hear that before? Maybe not for rowing, but opposite. But right now we focus on technique first. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change to this less than. Otherwise, no fun. Change to less than. Guys, change your question to less equal to. Because I just show you how to change to less equal to. So this change to less equal to. Like I said, I'm going through a crash course. Each day we're gonna go through like 2 or 3 sections, or like a whole week's worth of Algebra 1. How much time I have? 4 minutes. What's the first thing I need to do? Move the 1? Okay, let's do that. 3 over 2 3x minus 1 is less than what? 6. What's the next thing we need to do? Multiply by 3 over 2 is kind of advanced. I don't agree with that, but it's fine. For you, you can do whatever. But for me, I just get rid of fraction first. I just multiply by 2. I don't want to think about the opposite and stuff. I just multiply this. And it's not saying you're wrong. It's just saying you're right, but it's just, for some people, that's too fast. So that's going to be 12. What do I do next? Divided by 3. And that's going to be 3x minus 1 is less than what? 4, right? So again, that's I stand for isolation. So 3x minus 1 is less than 4. And 3x less than 1 is greater than negative 4. So you gotta flip and you gotta change. So, and that's going to be 3x is less than what? 5. X is less than 5 over 3. And it's 3x greater than negative 3. X is less than negative 3 over 3 is what? Negative 1. Is that okay? So that it's going to be, one thing is greater than negative 1. So this is a negative 1. This is a 5 over 3. And I'm going to erase this. And we go both from open circle. Since it's fill in, we're going to fill in the circle because it's equal to. It's greater than 1 this way. This is this way. Guess what? Your solution is going to be negative 1 to 5 over 3 bracket. Because this is including. Got it? I'm also going to tell you 2 extreme cases. I remember one of my smartest students I ever have it. His name is Isa. I'm going to mention his name a lot throughout the next 2 years. He's one of my smartest students. He never did any homework. Not like saying you should do that. But this guy is off the chart smart. I would talk about off the chart smart. He's a genius. He actually got a D in Algebra 2. And you like D. But the kid is like, the only reason he got a D is because he don't want to do anything. So I have in my class, I asked him a question. I said, hey, can you solve for me this equation? Is absolute value 2x minus 1 greater than negative 4? And you look at me. Within 5 seconds, he told me the answer. What do you think the answer is? What? What'd you say? You guys speak up louder. I cannot hear.
I think it's yes.
No, I'm asking you what's the solution. So within 5 seconds, he was able to tell me. This is the extreme cases. And I knew that he was off the chart smart. So I asked him to take calculus. And he's like, Mr. Ye, I got a D in Algebra 2. I said, it's okay. Anyway, the solution is all real number. That because absolute value of something is always greater than negative 4. So it doesn't matter what I plug in. It's all real number. The solution is negative infinity to infinity. I'm going to write down another case. 2x minus 1 is less than negative 4. This is a no solutions. Because absolute value can never be less than negative 4. Emily. Ian. Who else? Neil. I don't. Yeah, Sapa. Who you name?
I'm trying to show my work file. First is add on.
That's fine. Come back after school. Oh, I cannot have time.
Divide 6 by 3 over 2 first. Just do that, right? Like,
Yeah, you can. You can, but I will just do it one step. Yes. I will get it. No problem. No. Okay, I remember it. Okay, so with you guys have extended time. I sorry, apologize for that. I didn't read my stuff. I suppose read them. But first of all, I did give you enough time. Second of all, is wait, what do you need here? Wait, I have one more person here. Huh? Oh yeah.
And I think
Okay.
Julia.
Okay. No, it's fine. Yes.
I just had a question about Lena, because
Come back at lunch.
I'm not really
Okay. So what I'm gonna say is this, and especially you, I'm gonna say is this. I never had to deal with extra time before, and that's just me because most of people are like Nelly's brother, Will Robinson. He had extra time, but he didn't use it. I'm not saying that anything, but I say is if I were you, not I cannot say no to you. But if I were you, I'm gonna challenge myself. Don't do it. Just reason is not because of anything, because sometimes if a person that really need it, I would say yes. And it's not because I want to say no to you. Let's say Jada. Jada is really struggling in math. She really need excellent, but she doesn't have that individual lesson plan. So what I would tell you is, and I know you're capable, is you allowed to have extended time, but I'm gonna challenge you to do it without it. If you know what I'm saying, it's just like you don't need that. You don't need that handicap. You're not a person that believe you need a handicap. And there is a reason why I still put you in the group leader in the back is because I know what you're capable of doing. I know what you see your work. I know you'll put in the work. For me, like I will say, is yes, if you're gonna need extra time, you're gonna have to either get half the test and get the other half test on the other side. But at the same time, is I'm gonna challenge you to be even better than where you are right now. I know you're good students. I know you're fantastic students, and I just think about if it's me, I want to challenge a kid to even better. I don't want them to put in like standard that's lower. I just want to push them even better. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it because I have more respect of you that I think can do it without it? Then I will challenge you to do without it. Now, if you really necessarily need it, that's fine. But you gotta tell me before the test, and I can give you half the test and the other half test. Because the reason I don't want to like people like memorize a test question and come back after school and figure out how to do it, and I don't want to happen. So that's the only thing that I will say to you. Now with you, I know Raghav's gonna help you, and hopefully you're gonna have to keep on doing homework and keep on getting better, and hopefully that you'll start getting better. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? It's not any way in disrespect in any way, but I will say it's actually is the most respect I can give a person is actually I think they can do it. I want to challenge and they can do it. If today you are Jada, then I will say yeah, no problem any day. She doesn't even have IEP or she doesn't have anything like that, but she needs it. She needs that resource to get better. And I believe you can get an A. Now, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want you to go in for that. But if you need it, just let me know. But again, like, I don't want you to feel like anything. I remember there's one black kid asked me a long time ago, can I retake a test? And he got an 85, and I say no to him. And his mom coming to me on parent-teacher meeting, coming to me, and he asked me. So she come up to me. It's like, Mr. Ye, and I knew that there's something wrong is coming. So she come in. She says, "Why didn't you not letting my kids take a retake?" And I think about what she's thinking. She's thinking like, is it because she's black? And I say, Mrs. Bishop, with due respect, is I have more respect for your kids. Is I would more respect toward you kids. I said, if anything, I believe Jonathan can get an A the first time, now rather than get an A the first time without a retake. Because if I give him handicap, that means I look down on your kids. And because of that, because I can see it in her brain too. She's like, it's because he's black. No, it wasn't because he's black. It was because something else. Because I think Jonathan can do way better than what he's doing, and I think that you can do it as well. And push as hard as you can. You'll be fine. Your grade will be fine. Your grade right now is low, but it's gonna get but much higher because you weren't here the first 9 week. You were not here the second 9 week.